Those of you who know me know that I was really into simulator drone racing, specifically the Drone Racing League and Velocidrone, but I also fly Liftoff and all the others, all that good stuff. Well, I took it a little bit too seriously, and I ended up burning myself out. It wasn't fun for me anymore because I was flying so much, and it felt like a job or something I needed to do as opposed to something I wanted to do. Well, the other day I ended up grabbing a couple of my racing quads. I have 3 of them that are nearly identical, so that if I crash at a race, I can end up just grabbing another one and it'll feel exactly the same. And I grabbed 2 of them, and one of them was this blue one here. And the first thing that happened as soon as I plugged a battery into it, note that it flew just fine last time I put it away, is fire poured out of the ESC immediately as soon as the battery was plugged in. I have no idea why. Here's some footage of me kind of inspecting and trying to figure out what's going on. In an upcoming clip, I even look to the side and see if I'm, anything shorted out or whatever. I never did end up figuring out what's going on wrong with this speed controller. But what it did do was kind of open my eyes to, hey, this is a thing that I've been excited to do for a long time on YouTube, is document some of the things that happen here, some of the problems that happen in FPV, how you go about troubleshooting and figuring out what was wrong, how to prevent those issues from happening in the future, doing some sorts of tests to say, oh, I really like this thing more than this other thing, and here's why, having some sort of quantifiable evidence, or even just a personal experience. And I figure sharing some of that online would be great as a way to document my progress, as well as, being able to share some of this information with other people who have, there's a lot of people in this community who have shared great information with me and helped me get going years and years ago when I started trying to fly this. So I've been more of a freestyle kind of pilot for a long time, and only recently, I guess, more recently than freestyling, got into racing and really enjoyed it. But I've never really been fantastic at racing in real life. It's always been, my focus was simulator. So this is a bit of my journey on getting good at flying fast, analyzing race lines, and adjusting firmware and picking components that are going to be appropriate but also cost effective. So here, I've got some more footage here of just comparing a brand new fresh speed controller with the dead one. I go ahead with some rubbing alcohol. I clean off the flight controller. I didn't see anything wrong with this whole scenario. I didn't see a reason why it would end up popping again. So I reinstalled the new speed controller. I fired up the soldering iron and just double checked my soldering job to make sure that I didn't accidentally bridge anything and there was no solder splatter or anything like that. At the end here, I do have some footage of me plugging everything back in, or taking the old speed controller and plugging it back in and just seeing what happens. And it's a pretty exciting spark show. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Other than kind of learning that, hey, stuff happens, quality control and all that good stuff, and you may have not even done anything wrong and you still might have a fire pour out of your speed controller. We didn't learn a whole heck of a lot from this video, so I figured I'd just use that as a background for a sort of introduction of sorts. So welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the future footage and come along with me on my journey.